Well, Christopher. Welcome to a very special edition of Instigating with Clarkey.
Why is it special?
I'm Drury. That is the aforementioned Christopher Clark. Listen, we got to get right to the chase here.
All right.
We've been blessed on this show. We've had a lot of fun guests on here, okay? There have been a lot of great people that we've been able to chat sports with on this show. But today is a little bit more intense, okay? Because we got a guest on here that has been one of the most entertaining, preeminent voices in Toronto sports media. I do not think it's a reach to say that. One of the all-time hot takers and entertainers. You guys know this guy from The Score, from Tim and Sid, from his days on morning television in Toronto, waking us all up, to his new endeavor now on his extremely successful and fun-to-watch sports podcast, the Sid Seixeiro Show on Sick Media. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to welcome on this gentleman, Sid Seixeiro. Sid, how are you, sir?
I didn't deserve that intro. I can tell you that right now.
I disagree.
Very kind of you guys. Clarkey and Drury. Who's the dog in the back, Clarkey?
That's that? Sandy. Yeah.
Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Sandy always makes a cameo. Yeah.
She's the unofficial mascot of the show. Yes,
she is. She hears the show music and she comes running.
It's 100%. A pleasure to be here, guys. This is going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's great to have you on. Like I said, I mean, I've been watching you since I was a kid, and it's amazing to have you on here. No, that's not what it is. He's experienced. He's experienced. And Sid, I want to dig right in because first of all, it's fantastic to get you back into the sports landscape full time with your new show, and everybody should be watching. It's doing so well. I think I've missed 2 shows with you and Jeff as a party. The Sid Seixeiro Show streams every day at noon, Monday to Friday on YouTube and X. You can find it on all your favorite podcast apps, just like this show. I want to dig right into this with you, Sid, because you've been going off pretty hard the last week and a half about this situation that the Toronto Maple Leafs find themselves in. And I know you guys are aware of this. Clarkey, you're a Leafs fan. Sid, you've been commenting on this. The Leafs have a slogan. They have a slogan. I don't know what they changed it to. It's, what is it? Pride, courage, something else. It's in the collars of the jerseys. I would like to petition that this be put on their jerseys next year. This is the new slogan. The Firm. Great film. Okay. Gene Hackman, God rest him. That's the new slogan, Sid. Can you explain to me, because you were doing a great job of this last week, going off about them hiring a firm. Why does an organization like this need a firm to find a new general manager or president?
Well, let's the firm idea, and I'll be not at all sarcastic about this. This is the big picture is don't miss anything under the rock. Like, turn over everything on every candidate, because the last thing you want to do, the last thing you want is to bring in someone in MLSE, have the press conference, and then some funky bit of news come out. So at the minimum, what these firms are being asked to do is to properly vet people. Now, sometimes that goes well. Sometimes that doesn't go well. In terms of the proper hockey people, like, I think there's people in the city of Toronto here that could get that list for MLSE. Like, I don't think it's a difficult list. But in terms of paring it down and making sure there's no surprises around the corner PR-wise on any of these folks, that's what the firm, in theory, is supposed to do. In theory. Now, the other aspect of firms in corporate life is it alleviates blame in terms of how big the net was and who was caught in the net in terms of candidates. At the end of the day, Keith Pelley's still going to be responsible for every hire. But it does give him some wiggle room in case there's an AGM around the National Hockey League who gets a job in the next 6 months, who could have been available for a cheap price and wins like 3 cups in 5 years. Like, Pelley has an out in terms of people who are upset that maybe that happened. At the end of the day, it's down to Pelley. The intricate final interviews, that's MLSC, that's Keith. He wants that responsibility, he's getting it. But in terms of finding these folks, it's just a way of helping you make sure the candidates are on the up and up, and maybe give you a name or two that you haven't thought of before. But as we're finding out, most of these firms have agendas. And it's just the whole thing kind of reeks right now, personally. But we'll see. Listen, you never know. Pelley might hit 3 home runs here with the president of hockey ops, GM, and a coach. You have no idea. But in theory, Drury, to answer your question, if I'm in a boardroom talking to folks, blowing smoke up asses, that's what I say a firm does. Vet properly and give you a good field of candidate to choose from. That's what I would say.
As a fan, what's driving me nuts is watching them seemingly sit back and take their time. I mean, Vegas, boom, fire coach, hire coach. Islanders, fire coach, hire coach. Candidates are running out of, not that John Tortorella was going to become the next coach of the Leafs, but it's bugging me that they're doing all this due diligence. When you have a guy in place and you're going to fire someone, know who's going to replace him. And I get it. The firm's going to maybe give them new names and all that stuff. But am I wrong to think that, Sid, that they're taking too much time here?
I mean,
like Treliving should have been gone months ago anyway.
Like I was just deleting some old videos out of my iPad today. I forgot he went to the GM meetings. The Leafs sent him to the GM meetings like 3 weeks ago and fired him a week later. Like from that, listen, the Treliving thing, Brad, as most of you guys know, is one of the best guys in the business. Good person. I can't defend 90% of the moves he made. It was bizarre. It was bizarre, the performance he had. But with that said, the speed with which Keith Pelley has gone about this has been odd, has been really odd. And now, the other part of me thinks the following. If you're not willing to wait for the Toronto Maple Leafs, it's probably not the right match, because as a corporate entity, they're not going to rush in there. This is not an organization that's going to fire a coach with 4 games left. This is not an organization that's going to make the difficult decision. They're going to make a thought out, pragmatic, slow, analytically driven, apparently, decision. And I'm not of the opinion you can't get good people that way. I think you can. My problem, though, is like you keep hearing Brendan Shanahan's hot to trot with the Devils, and I think there are going to be some organizations in a hurry in terms of their hierarchy and how they're going about their business and what they're going to do this offseason. And look, again, this is the Leafs are going to be the highest paying gig at head coach, GM, and president of hockey ops, and probably the highest paid AGMs in the league. So if you really don't want a piece of that, get out. If Sonny Mehta or whoever doesn't want a piece of that, we still need some self-respect in the city. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're not going to just stop the world for a poker player. Like, come on. Like if he doesn't want the gig, we'll move on then. We this is Toronto. There's no cups, but there's got to be some pride. And from that aspect, Clarkey, I slightly disagree. I think again, Pelley's timeline, as odd as that press conference was last week, I don't, the timeline is before June to have everyone in place by the time the combine rolls around.
And I guess new names could pop up, right?
We don't know.
We don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. Guys might get fired, and then oh, okay.
Stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All the time. Listen, maybe Kevin Adams comes out of nowhere and says, what I asked for about 2 weeks ago, I'll do it for half. Just let me get my hands on it.
They're not going to hire him. I get it. He did the job in Buffalo, but he's not.
That's his team. He's about to win GM of the year. Clark is going to win GM of the year.
It's
going to be him. No, it's going to be Kevin Adams.
He could.
He definitely could. That would be unbelievable.
Jarmo Kekalainen has brought in who did he bring in? He brought in Shen, Who
He
else
tried to bring in the Parayko, but he wouldn't
Tried
go.
to get
Yeah.
Parayko. Didn't
Every
work
GM
out.
in the league has
Yeah.
brought in Luke Shen at the deadline.
Yes,
that's nothing.
exactly.
That's nothing. So
No.
like this
No,
is still
he's done
Kevin.
nothing.
I don't think we should put anything past Keith, because the one thing Keith has shown in his career generally, he will swing in a weird direction you weren't expecting. And sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. But at least the one part about Keith and Scott Moore back in the day.
And you know Keith, obviously, right?
I know Keith. Oh, Keith. Like,
Yeah,
I worked for Keith, and I worked for Scott Moore, and they gave us a lot of freedom, a lot of freedom. Now I talk about Keith differently now because he's the big you know what around town. So it's a little different now with Keith. We have to critique Keith, and we will. But I'm not convinced he's not going to hit home runs here. I have to listen. I was a little put off by the press conference, like everyone else. I didn't know what I was listening to, especially the talk of I've rebuilt TFC. TFC suck. What do you mean you've rebuilt TFC?
Yeah, they're not.
I'm one of 9 people in the city watching TFC. I know TFC.
Yeah.
Let's not easy. You're not in a boardroom with people who don't know. Like you're talking to people who watch. Like just be careful with that. Got to be careful with that. But his track record is wild stuff. Like who saw when they ran into Keith Pelley as a young producer in the halls of TSN while he was cutting the Daily Dublin Inquiry piece for Sports Desk, which made him famous, by the way. That's how he cut his teeth, because no one else wanted to touch it. And it was like leading Sports Desk every night on TSN. Who would have seen like the multi-billion-dollar hockey deal with Rogers? Who would have seen running the European tour? Who would have seen like he worked on football with Fox. Like his resume is ridiculous. But it's one surprise after another. I am not putting it past Keith Pelley to do that again. I'm not. Now, I just think he has to smooth out the edges on the pressers. And
maybe he should just not do them.
Well, I was about to say the president of hockey ops will, in theory, do them.
Yeah.
But I could. This is 50-50 with me. I see this going one of two ways. But I've mentioned this on the show plenty. I'm going to give a lot of grace to whoever takes the job because it's one of the toughest I've ever seen in sports. Ever. The amount of non-flexibility you're going to have as the president of hockey ops and GM of this hockey team is staggering. Staggering. If someone can turn this around, I will have Cliff Fletcher levels of respect for who they are in the city. And
they had a lot of injuries this year. We can turn this around.
Okay. Yeah. I can't do that dance with you again, Clarkey. It's just not, we can't do that here. I'll say this, like, I agree. I think that like Keith, whoever he does hire is going to have an extremely difficult job. And during his presser, he and every other Leafs president, GM, executive over the last 59 years has said this word. And he said it, I think there was a count on it. I think he said it 22 times during the press conference. The C word, big popular word in Toronto, culture. And you've been taking a pretty heated run at a guy on the team that I can't help but agree with you might be a root cause of some of the culture issues within the players. And that's this gentleman here, Mr. William Nylander.
Look at that.
Miraculously has an A on his jersey, which is absolutely shocking to me.
Gave Drury, they gave him the A after the Matthews incident.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Is that not the most ignorant thing you've ever seen in your life to do that?
Sid,
that's insanity.
It borders on inexplicable to me. I can't believe it. And his season was really defined by this. Like, this is a guy they're paying $11.5 million to. And this is this is what everyone will remember William Nylander's season for. Inconsistent play, garbage effort, and him flipping the bird at the TSN camera, which he apologized for limply after the game. He just said he was frustrated. He's frustrated with a big grin on his face, flipping the bird. What is it with this guy? Like, can they win with him as part of the heartbeat of this team, Sid? I don't know if they can.
They can't. And I know that because they haven't.
Why not?
I mean, he doesn't He doesn't dig in the corners. There are plenty of nights with no effort. He's a horrible defensive player, and he'll rather have Easton Cowan go in and fight on his behalf than go in and defend Easton Cowan. I can go on. Like my favorite is he was out with a migraine the one postseason when the one Matthews missed, and kind of Marner was on his own against Boston, but he didn't mind about 9 Amazon cameras in his apartment doing the series. I think this guy has been stealing money from this organization for a very long time, and quite frankly, I think the biggest failure of Brendan Shanahan is to continuously reward folks who gave nothing back to him. Now, good luck turning that culture around. Good luck, like it's Jack and Rose on the Titanic. They turned it around a bit, but they still got hit. Like it's an impossibility. I also, quite frankly, I don't think John Tavares has taken enough heat in this city, personally. I don't think he has. I think that culture of not jumping in for a teammate, just kind of looking the other way and moving, Tavares is wearing a C for a lot of that. A lot of that.
100%.
But to focus on Willie, I think as a leader, he's low class. He is low class, and on the ice, I would much rather see him if he had an ounce of edge to his game, the way he skates and the way he at times can go out there. That's a dangerous player, dangerous player. But what's the goal? Like there are 2 types of organizations in hockey, guys. You know this. Would love to be in the playoffs. I'm already in the playoffs. Now what? The Devils are I'd love to be in the playoffs team. Shanahan's going to fit in like a glove if he goes there. Like a glove. No, seriously, Brendan will build him a team. No question about it. He'll take every GM and AGM that the Leafs are looking at and bring him to New Jersey.
Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. But the other teams, like the Dallases of the world, Florida, eventually, Florida will be back. They'll get the first overall pick this year, and then they'll be back. Like the Edmontons of the world, like it's about what's next. What are we doing next? And William Nylander has no interest. No interest. The turnovers that we have seen this guy continuously make down through the years with no punishment, no benchings, nothing. Again, I cannot stress enough. The low light of Toronto's season was not the Matthews incident. The low light was giving Nylander the A next game. Someone in that organization needs to be held accountable for that. I don't know if that was True Living. I don't know if that was Berube. I'm going to leave Pelley out of that. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He was a part of that. But somebody in that team gave so little you-know-whats, with the captain having not said anything publicly off on the sidelines watching, by the way. You get an A. I don't know. Like the one thing Pelley said, or the one insinuation he made last week, which I no one can debate. Deep cultural issues. Deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you guys hear Scott Lawton today?
Yes. Talking about pregame meals. Unbelievable.
That was
unbelievable.
Now you guys tell me, like we played that clip. We gave Carlo and Korolnik, who do a good job. We gave them the credit, obviously, but we ran it, and I'm like, and I don't often pull clips from shows like that in the city, but I thought that one stood out. And
for sure.
For those who didn't see it, Scott Lawton, the new favorite player for the Los Angeles Kings and DJ Smith, basically said while in Toronto, the only players that would stick around for lunch on game days were Lawton, Easton Cowan, and Max.
Unbelievable.
They run for the cars. Now, part of me believes it watching them play. 100% I believe that. But like the crazy part is, like, Easton Cowan just got there. Scott Lawton had just got there. He was less than a year removed from having a first rounder and Grebenkin traded for him. And Max has now been there a little bit. It's just it feels off, that kind of story. It feels off, and that's not why Lawton brought it up. They were asking Lawton about his relationship with Easton Cowan, because Easton Cowan Really kind of, it looked like he took it on the chin after that trade because he thinks the world of Lawton. But I have a hard time believing you can quickly turn around anything if that's going on, even from the nice guys in the room. I think that's a problem.
Hey, before
listen, if you don't want to hang out with Nylander, you don't want to hang out with this guy, you want to hang out. If you're sick of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, if everyone's pissed at Stolarz because of the comments earlier this year, blah 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 blah, we can go through that web. If you are a veteran of the Toronto Maple Leafs and Easton Cowan wants to stay for lunch, have lunch with the kid.
Yeah, maybe.
Have lunch with the kid. What's the rush? What's it? Tavares is to run home for another protein shake.
And it's not that they have to get their wallet out and pay for the lunch. It's sitting right there. It's a buffet. Just pick what you want.
Yeah,
MLSC are rather catered.
Oh,
catered rather well.
I mean, when I worked there, I saw guys all the time going for lunch. The whole team usually. They would all just go right in.
I just think between roster composition and the internal feelings that they have for each other, which are no longer debatable after the Matthews incident. We can't. That was over. Where do you begin with this is what I'm wondering with Keith. And where you begin is with the new Shanny, whoever that is. Like that, it can't, like I had a few people text me. It's like, gotta bring Shanny back, eh? Like, no. We tried the zero accountability. We tried that. Like, it has to be a little different. We have to, and I said this on air once, and I was dead serious. The Leafs have to get really nasty with their people.
They do,
and let them know they will not dictate tone anymore. The players will not dictate tone.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Well, here's the thing. Keith's got one shot at this, though.
No doubt.
Yeah,
one shot at this. Like I remember a couple of off seasons ago, Keith's like, I'm not going to make a habit of being at these pressers. Well.
We've seen him a lot.
There's been a few pressers. And
we've seen him a lot.
We've seen him a lot. But he does not. He now, between Shanahan, between Treliving, soon to be Berube, I think. Pardon me. Soon to be Berube. All his firewalls are gone. Right. And if you're in the corporate world, as you guys know full well, the longest lasting executives have a lot of firewalls. Keith's getting it's getting thin now. It's getting thin. You're at one drywall and a bit of insulation. That's it. He had rooms of space when he got there. It's now like this. With the Leafs specifically, it's like this. So we'll see what he does. I'm still of the opinion he can do this and hit a home run, but it's going to feel like it's going to be like no one's going to like it at first. It's going to have an Atkins Shapiro feel to it. Everyone's going to hate it. But it might work out. I don't know. But it's going to take so much work, guys. Jesus Christ, it's going to take a lot of work. A lot.
And on that note, because of the realities of what the salary cap introduced to this sport, and we've been talking ad nauseum about this on this show, and I know you and Jeff as a party have talked about it a bunch on the Sid Seixeiro Show. To me, this is the most important thing. I don't care who they bring in outside of the fact that they better set some accountability and set a serious tone for this organization. Beyond that, though, the most important thing that this franchise needs to do is figure out why it seems to be impossible for them to draft and develop young talent that can supplement this roster for cheap year after year after year. Because frankly, Sid, I'm sure you guys can look at it on the show. I had a gander the other day at the Hockey DB page of the Leafs' recent draft history, and they got Sam Mitchell numbers on some of those. I'm talking 0, 0, 0. We all know the quote. And you look at it and go, how can an organization worth $4.4 billion with 860 assistant GMs not find anybody? They don't find anybody. 3rd round, 6th round, college free agent, nobody. They don't find anybody. It's crazy to me that they can't draft and develop young talent. And I know you've had a lot of thoughts on that, Sid.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest thing is what young forward in the last 10 years, aside, because there was a window where Shanahan kind of like Nylander was young, Marner was young, Matthews was a kid. There was that window. The second everyone got paid, development was over. And it became, we got to win. The Leafs, as long as I've been alive past the 80s, because the 80s were a gong show. I don't know what the direction was. Direction was don't get hit by Ballard's cane was the direction when you're around Maple Leaf Gardens. But in the 90s, things kind of changed. 2000s, things changed. But in this last iteration of the Shana plan and the last 10 years, the emphasis to give a 22 to 23-year-old 15 minutes a night for the Leafs was non-existent, unless you were the core. It wasn't about developing. It was about supplanting and making sure the same people were out there all the time. Same with defensemen. They twisted themselves into a pretzel to get the Jake McCabe's of the world. What about this Villeneuve kid down in the Marlies? You guys want to try it? Nope.
Yeah, send him back down.
Send
him back down.
I don't
Sid,
know.
They never had a number one defenseman.
But I don't know what the Villeneuve kid is the point.
No, neither do they.
But this organization was structured in such a panic stress way. There's no time for them. For 10 years, the Villeneuves of the AHL and the Marlies and any other prospect coming in, it's a miracle Easton Cowan's got this kind of time. I haven't seen a kid get this type of time outside of the core four in 10 years with this organization. And that was forced on them by the fan base, essentially. Like the problem with the Leafs has always been, and this is my fear now, based on hearing Keith, is you got to win. Or you have to act like you're trying to win. Development is secondary. And that has been the case for far too long. And whether that includes trading assets, trading prospects, doing whatever. I mean, let's be honest. It's not like the Leafs traded away. Like Zach Hyman was the worst example. And even as a Leaf, he wasn't a 50-goal scorer here. Like he wasn't a 50-goal scorer here. Yeah, well, no. McDavid, now he's a 50-goal. No, okay, great. No kidding. With McDavid, he's a 50-goal scorer. No kidding. Put Bobby McMahon with McDavid, see how many goals he gets. But it was like, for the most part, outside of your top two lines, no kids are getting real run. It's the Yarncroaks of the world. It's just this weird supplanting of average to try and look legitimate. And that's what's killed them. There is no development at the big level because all these highly paid coaches are freaking out. They don't have the patience. Like even in those moments in games 5 and 7 last year against Florida, to be down 6-0, 5-1, I forget what the score lines were. To be down by those score lines and have Berube still throw the same 5 guys over the boards on a power play was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. There is your problem. If Pelley doesn't root that out at the core, nothing will change. Nothing.
You're absolutely right.
Better. And I also think this organization has to take a hard look at no movement contract. Hard look.
Absolutely.
Hard look. If you lose 3 free agents on that, who cares? You cannot get put in this prison again by players who aren't worth it. No, you can't do it. Doubt. You can't do it. They've done this to themselves. But
I completely agree. And you talk about the culture in the room. I genuinely wonder what the culture is like among the scouting staff. Because one of two things happens, right? Sid, like we're going to get you out of here on this. One of two things happens. Either the scouts are bad and can't find anybody, which I find hard to believe because of the money that they're for sure cranking into that. Or the scouts come and say, we should take this guy. And management goes, no, I actually like this guy better. And what the Leafs do, even people are like, oh, I hope that they get their first round pick this year. You know what they'll do? Because they always do this. They'll take that first round pick and they'll trade down to get 2 seconds and a third. Like, it's unbelievable, the asset management. And they got to find somebody who can put that to bed, because they have to realize development is winning, Sid.
I would think that's a simple concept.
Would you?
Yeah. But the great mystery of our time, though, will be, and not just this era, but like for a long time in Leaf history, like in the 2000s, with all due respect, they just signed whoever they wanted. Like there wasn't any crazy development going on there. What the hell has gone on with the scouting department of this organization for 40 years? Someone has to answer me that. I think now's the time. Whatever you're doing, change it. Might want to change it. Just look at it differently. Just differently. And you might land on something. Now you also have to keep your picks and not be completely reckless with your future. That helps too.
It sure does. You know who could figure it out?
But if you were to tell me, if that firm comes back to the Leafs and says, we found someone, we think you're going to like them. They want to completely blow out the scouting department. Like 20, 30, 40 people. And I'm sure hardworking people. You guys know that life. Driving all afternoon for an OHL game. You guys know that life. These are good people, scouts. They work hard. But at some point, this is a results-oriented business.
Yes.
And the Toronto Maple Leafs, if someone's going to come in and print him and everyone stays and the scouts stay and everything's like, they are asking for it, man. Rogers has paid a lot of money for hockey rights. They cannot have the Leafs be completely irrelevant. They are this close. They're this close. The next 3 moves dictate everything. They better be very careful with this. The run it back mentality has crippled the entire organization. Crippled. You can start to dig your way out of it. It's going to take a brave move by a brave person.
Yep.
Pelley is not against outside the box. He's not. He's not. Now's the time. And I feel like Ed Rogers and Staffieri and those guys up top, they'd be perceptive to it. Or sorry, forgive me, receptive to it. Because I think you can do it. I think you can do it.
How could they not be at this point? I mean, with the lack of success, especially with the scouting, you're right. It is the great mystery of our time. You know, if David Lynch, God rest him, was still alive, he could make a horror movie out of it, because it is an all-timer, man. It's a Twin Peaks mystery. I would say that. Clarkey, you're suffering. I'm sorry, brother. Speaking of now's the time, it's time to let our friend Sid go. Sid, we really appreciate this, man. We'd love to have you back. Everybody, tune in to the Sid Seixeiro Show, brought to you by Sick Media, Monday to Friday, noon. They usually go to 2. Sometimes cut it short for Jays, but generally it's 2 hours. You can find the podcast if you
so nice, just to do whatever you want.
Your favorite podcast.
Hold on, I just got an email from myself about tomorrow's time.
So nice.
2-hour show.
And you know, the fan launched in '92. The Jays were going to the World Series. The Leafs were on their way to the Final Four, I guess. And now you launch a show, and everything's in the shitter. But it's good because you don't want that middle ground, right? You want things are bad or good. Well, you got 2 teams right now in Toronto who aren't doing well.
Well, I'll say this. All I care about is be interesting. Yeah. Just be interesting.
Yeah.
And we've seen all sides of it. We've seen all sides of it. There's never a dull moment in this city. But I do believe, call me naive, gentlemen. I do believe someone is going to fix the Toronto Maple Leafs at some point. I do believe that. And I think there are good hockey folks, young, ambitious hockey folks.
Yep.
I've said this a few times on the show. I think an experienced president with a brand new GM and a brand new head coach is exactly what this team needs. Exactly. Exactly.
It's a hard concept to argue, man.
I just think because you'll have experience there. It's not like everyone's a complete rookie. Like you'll have some hands guiding them, and you can set the culture. Don't have the culture told to you. Well, that's how you guys know how it is sometimes. Well, that's how we do things here. No.
The most dangerous sentence in human history. That's how we've always done things.
That's how we've always done things. That's Willie being Willie. Willie being Willie. Tavares, good in the face-off circle.
Yes,
good in
sir.
the face-off circle. Yes. Morgan's a good guy. Morgan's a good guy.
Yep.
Austin will figure it out. Keep saying those things. Saying those things, and you'll be in quite the bind. But this will be fun, gentlemen. This will be a good time.
Thanks, buddy.
It absolutely will. And, speaking of fun and being interesting, Sid Seixeiro, you are always interesting, my friend. I've enjoyed your work for many years. I continue to enjoy it on the Sid Seixeiro Show. I can't wait to see more, brother. Thank you so much for doing this, Sid. Really appreciate you, man.
This was fun. Clarkey and Drury, appreciate it. Have a good night, man.
Thanks.
You too, brother. Thank you, Sid. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Sid Seixeiro. And again, you can catch the Sid Seixeiro Show brought to you by Sick Media with Jeff as a party every day, Monday to Friday, noon to 2, live on X and YouTube. And you can find the podcast version just like this show on all your favorite podcast apps, Apple, Spotify, whatever you want, man.
You know what worries me a little bit about
What
the
worries you,
culture
brother?
and the change and all that?
A little bit? It
Like,
worries you a little
no,
bit?
I'm just saying, like, what worries me a little bit is the parent company.
Well, that's
I've been there.
a concern.
However,
That's been a
let's
concern.
not worry about that right now.
Now, I will say this before we bring on our next esteemed guest, a very good friend
Let's
of the show,
see if he
okay?
can get his computer working today.
I will say this. They spend money. There's no question about that. Like, look at the Jays. And
You know how much money they make?
The Jays snap.
Like, yes,
No, I
they should spend
understand
money.
Yeah, I understand. And they do. So,
Yeah.
like, no one can say, oh, they don't spend money. They spend it. It's just, like Sid said, like, I really do question when it comes to the Leafs what they're spending it on and what occurs. I'd pay to be a fly on the wall to be in these scouting meetings for this team over the last 15 years. Never mind since the draft existed, which we've criticized them for. The last 10, 15 years, because people will go, well, they drafted Matthews and they drafted. Yeah, they had a high pick and they had a slam dunk.
I know.
With a
You,
really
can you
talented
get
player,
off
okay?
this? Like, seriously, Drury. Every
They
show, you
have
don't
to.
have to mention it every show, though.
They have to.
I'm sick of it. The audience is, we get it. They don't draft well. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else.
It's the only thing to
I
talk
get it.
about with their organization to me.
Well, no, it's not. There's a lot of other bad things to talk about time and time again. Anyway, is
them? I don't know.
is our next guest coming on here? Like,
I want to say that he's figuring things out here. We want to bring our friend Ian Doig on. Okay.
guess what?
We can see him in there. He's
in
in
our
the
waiting
queue.
room. In the queue.
He's in the queue,
but we can't
but I don't
see
see
him.
his image on screen. So
Here
we're
we
going to
go.
see if Doigie can get the
He
camera.
figured
going.
it out when he was in
Listen,
Australia. Now he's
yes,
home
He's home.
in
We're gonna-
Minnesing,
We're gonna
Ontario.
sort it out.
He spent the
You know
weekend
what?
in Grand Bend. Did you know that?
I did. You know what? Maybe he's on the phone right now with Keith Pelley. Maybe they're going to bring Doigie in there. We don't know.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's trying to work out a deal for Morgan Riley.
He could be on the. Well, that'd be that. We all know that would be the first thing that our friend, longtime golfer, golf pro Ian Doig, who should be coming on the show any minute now. We're trying to get him on there. We're just trying to figure out what his camera's doing.
Let's talk about this.
Yeah. Hey, now we're recording this Wednesday, April 8th. This image for everybody on the 7th in the back-to-back loss to the Dodgers, the 6th straight loss for your Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, but it worked.
John Schneider,
They won today.
They
Wednesday.
won
They
4-3. They snapped a 6-game skid. How about that? And John Schneider I think that's Dave Merzell or Dan Merzell.
I don't know,
the
but he
umpire,
took
that
it, didn't
he's
he?
Losing it on.
He took it. Like, he took it. Like,
And,
I don't know if I could have
He did
taken
back
that.
down.
Like, there was spit flying and
It's a scary man. John
Oh my
Schneider's a
gosh.
scary guy.
He's
Like,
a big
when he-
dude. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
But I agreed. Like, how can only one umpire catch a balk? All four umpires, any of the four can call it. And I saw our umpire loving guest that we had on the show many times, Jim Cressman, saying, "Oh, he's just trying to blame somebody." Well, you know what? The one thing about baseball now is you don't have that big argument anymore because of replay and because of everything else. Well, a balk can't be replayed. You can't go to the replay to see if
You can't
the guy
challenge
balked.
it.
You can't challenge it. So that's one reason a manager can come out and argue. And I thought it was great that he came out and got, as he said, he got a little steam off.
Yeah,
because
and he's frustrated.
They have not been playing well, to say the least.
Chris, they've been playing horrible. They have. And they've had injuries.
Unfortunately,
up and down the
they've had a lot of injuries.
It's real bad.
It is.
Like,
it's
let's not beat around the bush here.
The run of bad luck has been terrible.
We don't know what's going on with you, Savage. We know that the Enigma and Casper the Friendly Ghost that is Anthony Santander will never show up. Like, they've got a lot of injury concerns. Absolutely.
No doubt.
But the players that are on the field, particularly the ones on the dirt.
Yeah.
Wow, have they been terrible. Like, I'm looking at guys that are chopping and chunking it around. Like I don't know what they're doing out there, man. And they got some guys at the plate right now that are, and I can't do this dance again with everybody, as we will talk golf. We're talking baseball here. Let's get the baseball background going. We got guys going, the hitting's been a problem. Well, we can't do it again because their old hitting coach is gone, and David Popkins did an unbelievable job getting this team locked in. Everyone was hitting en route to a World Series appearance. So I don't want to hear that they need a new hitting coach. At some point, no matter what, whether we're talking about the Leafs, we don't want to hear about scouting anymore. Okay, let's talk about the players, because it's sports. The players play. And these guys are playing terrible. You got guys out there that are locked into big deals that are swinging at nothing. Where is everybody?
Where's Dalton Varsho? Is he got a plastic bat or a real bat?
Dalton Varsho, dude, I said he could be the X factor for the Leafs this year.
He did for the Jays, you mean? Maybe the Leafs too.
For the Jays. Sorry, yeah, get him some shoulder pads, Craig. No, he has been the X factor in a negative way.
You know what Ian told me on the weekend, by the way, not to change the topic.
Please, yes.
He goes, I'm getting a new computer. I'm going to buy a Mac. And I said, good.
Well, the new computer's not.
He doesn't have it yet. I guarantee he doesn't have it yet.
Well, we're trying to figure it out with Doigi.
Why don't we just bring him in and use the audio? Like, we got to troubleshoot this live. Ian, can you hear us?
Can he hear us?
Yes.
Well, okay. So there's
Ian
a step.
Is there. Ian is there. We just don't have an image of him.
It tells me I'm backstage and the host has to add me.
We did, but we can't see you.
But we can't.
Your
make
camera's
your camera
off. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for your camera to be turned on.
I love that everybody listening and watching is going, I love that they're just trying to figure out a camera for this guy. Yeah. It's amazing. We might
turn your camera on.
We might have to just roll with this.
I know.
Because we got serious business to take care of here, gentlemen. Okay.
Thankful he can golf.
Doigi, we might not be able to see him, but we can hear him. And at the end of the day, that's the main thing we need. Yeah. There is a camera option. There's a little camera at the bottom of your screen, Doigi, and I'm
clicking on it.
Okay.
And it comes up Ian Doig with no image, but
yes.
It said you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you.
No,
I've got
we
a
can't
box
see
right
you.
there that says that.
Can you see the show?
I can see you too, and I can see the golf green.
Yeah,
the little camera icon at the bottom of your screen will let you select a camera on your computer. That's what you need. You're on stage. You're here, brother.
Yeah, don't worry about that part. Click on the little arrow beside the camera and select the right camera. Okay, do you have a switch on your camera? Like at the top, is there actually a little toggle or anything?
There shouldn't be.
Well, sometimes there is. See, because that image is showing, it could be a little toggle on the camera itself.
All right, let me just give me a second here.
Okay, we'll just talk amongst ourselves. We're live on Rogers right now, but that's fine.
Well, we're not live. This is recorded.
Well, we're live when we're live.
Yes, we're here.
We're on.
And it's time to talk about the most exciting weekend in golf, and that's Masters. Because we're back here at Augusta National. We are rolling into just an unbelievable couch surf weekend. I cannot wait to see how things shake out. And honestly, I'm more excited than I thought for the tournament because I don't think that anything can top what we witnessed last year with Rory finally pulling off the slam.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, that being said, I can't wait to see who steps up this year. And I don't know that we're going to see a repeat of this image here. Our guy,
I wonder if that's a little hint to Ian and I that with Ryan with the first pick may not be picking Rory.
I have the first pick.
Champ.
I have the first pick, and I don't
he's
think
gone. Now we lost his audio. Oh boy,
that's all right. We're gonna figure it out. I don't think that. I'll tell you right now that I'm not going to take.
Oh my gosh, look at this.
Oh my God, look at this guy. He's here.
He's on his phone. I guarantee he switched to his phone.
Do you know? Yep. Do you know what it is? Because we got to make picks here, gentlemen. You know what happened? I said the name Rory, and Doigie magically appears.
Yeah.
Because that's who he loves, and Doigie's going to be really happy. Doigie's going to be like so thrilled. Now, Chris, again,
he may not pick him either. He might just be given to me as the third pick. Doigie might pick someone else.
Who are you talking about?
Rory, your guy, the guy you pick first all the time.
Rory Sabatini?
Rory Sabatini,
yes,
yeah.
Rory Sabatini, dude.
Yeah, he gets on and then he starts making jokes.
I don't think that Ian's not going to avoid this, okay? Listen, I'm going to do something that may surprise you. I have the first pick because I absolutely incinerated you guys.
Oh no! Now Ryan's computers
picks.
You guys need new computers, both of you.
It's like 36 under.
He's frozen.
Listen. I'm here. I'll potentially upset Doigie, but I'll make him happy at the same time. Okay. I'm going to take with my first pick, Ludwig Oberg.
Whoa! Okay? Look at that.
Yes.
Ludwig is gone. Wow.
I'm taking Ludwig Oberg. I think he's going to do some magical stuff, and he loves Augusta. Doigie, please take your boy.
I don't think he's going to. Now Doigie's frozen. Doigie's frozen now. Oh, boy. This is the show of all shows.
We're having technical difficulties, all right? And this happens from time to time. Let's see if he unfreezes. We'll figure it out, all right?
If he's not here in 2 minutes, I get to pick. He gets to a third.
Well, I don't know that I love that because he's supposed to go third.
Now he's gone.
He'll be back.
No,
he'll be back.
He's there. Okay, let's add him in here.
He's back.
You do it.
Thank you for rolling. Yeah, I'm the producer. Let me do it. Thank you for rolling with us through the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We got to get down to business here.
Okay,
Ludwig Oberg is my
Oberg
first
is gone
pick.
To Drury. Ian, your pick.
You picked Oberg?
I did.
See, you missed all this. You were frozen on the screen. He picked Oberg.
You picked Ludwig Oberg.
Yes, he did.
How could you do that?
Yeah, he did it to me last week or last pick, and then he won. He picked all my guys.
But I've left you your guys, so make your pick here.
I'm going to take Tommy Fleetwood.
Wow.
Oh,
wow.
Boy.
Shocking stuff.
Fleetwood.
Clarkey,
Well. Look what I have. I've been handed a... wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to pick Rory. Okay. And I'm going to pick... I hate picking this guy, and I know it's going to come back and haunt me. I just don't like who he hangs out with. I shouldn't pick him because of it. I'm going to pick the other guy from Live, John Rahm.
That's good. We like that. I like that for you. Ian,
your pick,
sir.
Wow. I'm going to pick Matty Skechers.
Wow.
You're copying my picks that I pick every week.
No, Matty Skechers is my guy, and that's a grease bag move. But I took his boy Ludwig, and so he's serving it back to me. So I understand.
Okay, go ahead, Ryan. 2 picks.
I understand loud and clear what you've done. Okay. I understand. I'm going to take a couple gentlemen here on the opposite ends of the career spectrum. Let me start with the anchor himself. I think this young gentleman is going to have a real nice week, especially after his win at Bay Hill. I would like to take Akshay Bhatia. Okay. I'm going to take Akshay, or as Tiger Woods calls him, Ashtray. Akshay Bhatia for me. And then I'm going to take a gentleman at the other end of the spectrum here who's got a lot of experience finishing second here. And damn it, I think he might get it done this year. Roses are red. You'll both be blue because dusty old Justin Rose is coming for you.
Love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
Did you just pick Rosie?
yes, I did. JR,
Hey, Ian,
my
your
team.
pick.
Wow. Well, I was going to take Rosie.
Well, you can't.
I can't.
Mm.
So
No.
I'm going to pick Scotty Scheffler.
Yes. Yes. Someone had to.
Someone
Someone had to do it. Clarkey, round out your team here. Good
Okay.
start. Rory and Rom, Double R Cafe. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, he's still out there. I got to pick Bryson.
Yep. You got to take big
Bryson
Bryce.
DeChambeau. And to
Mhm.
round out my team,
Mm.
I'm going to go with Xander Schauffele.
I like that.
You always say
I
you like
like
my picks,
Schauffele.
and then I end up in last place week after week.
Well, because they always play well for me. They play
Yeah,
well for me when
I know.
I pick them.
I know.
I
See,
pick
it's
them at the
just
right
luck.
courses. I pick them at the right courses, Clarkey.
Hey,
And I don't
who
think
won the
Augusta-
Masters last year?
Rory McIlroy.
No. Between us.
You won the Masters pick-off last
Thank
year.
you.
Yep.
I won.
Your only win of the
Are
year.
you sure?
I'm positive.
Clarkey won. Clarkey won the Masters
Yes.
last
You
year.
picked
Yes.
the winner, but I won the pool.
Yeah. Clarkey
I
won
don't
last
know
year.
about that.
Doigie, round out your team.
I
brother.
definitely won.
Clarkey won. He did. He did.
All right.
the only
round
one I
out my
had, buddy.
team. Round out my team.
Yeah.
I am going to go with Corey Connors.
Mm.
I'm
like
not
that
laughing
a
because you
lot.
picked Corey Connors. You really changed it up this week. You didn't
Yes, I
pick
did.
the guys you always
He
pick.
really did.
And I knew he was going to pick Fleetwood first, by the way, because he gave it up on Facebook.
I almost picked him first. Now, I will say that this is the most interesting and I would say diverse set of picks I think I've ever seen Doigie make on the show.
Yeah, he's finally
No
not
Rory.
picking the same guys.
No Oberg, although Oberg was not available
Trust me.
to him.
I was
I'm
taking
shocked.
Oberg if he was there.
I know you were, brother, and that's why I took him. I'd like to round out my team with another young gentleman who I think could really, and you know what? I was really considering Corey if he was there, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the guy I still would have taken, though. Corey would have made me think if he was there because we love him here in Listowel.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to stick with this young gentleman. I would like to round out my team. I bet you this guy wins the Masters too because he's my last pick and I'm just good luck. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be rounding out my Masters picks with Min Woo Lee.
I had him last week.
And that's why I picked him.
Yeah.
Because you picked him at the wrong course last
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
And this is the right course for Minwoo to
Okay.
do some damage in front of the azaleas. Okay.
I thought you were going to pick Cameron Young. The guy won it
No.
for you, Anyway.
No, I don't need Cam Young this week. I don't like his odds at the Masters. To recap, I'm rolling with Ludwig Oberg, Akshay Bhatia, Justin Rose, and Minwoo
Wow.
Lee. Ian's going to roll.
Team International.
Ian's going to roll with Tommy Fleetwood, Matty Skechers, my guy, Scotty Scheffler, and Corey Connors, the pride of
That's
here in
basically
Lithgow,
my team.
Ontario.
Week after week. All my guys. So you'll finish last.
I mostly pick Skechers, and I pick Fleetwood a lot more than
No, you don't. Guys, if we
Yeah.
go back to the beginning,
Yeah.
I always pick those guys. Always.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No. See, I was the Matty Skechers champion. I am Skechers.
No.
I have a pair. That's
You
me.
guys are too funny.
That's all I wear. Is
And
Skechers.
Ian knows I was the guy on top of Matty Skechers. Then he started winning me some tournaments, and then you followed, because that's what
Not
you
true.
are, right? You're
No,
a
not
follower.
true. Not
I'm a
true.
leader. I'm a trendsetter. And
In
you're
2
a follower.
years, you guys will be picking Jake Knapp every week.
I'm
Jake Knapp.
Skechers.
Jake Knapp.
No,
You watch.
no.
You
Never
watch.
heard of him.
Who's-
Never heard
Who's
of him.
Jake Knapp?
Exactly.
Never
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
He will
Okay.
not be part of
Yeah.
my team.
Now watch this week. He'll freaking probably win.
I'm Skechers, and you're New Balance. Clarkey rolling with Rory, the defending champ, John Rahm, DeChambeau, Xander Sakafali. So there we go. There's our Masters picks. Best of luck, gentlemen. We got a couple minutes left here. Doigie, fun trip for you. Glad to have you back here in the, somewhat still Great White North.
Well, yeah, it's good to be home, but I do want to let everybody know I'm heading south this weekend.
That's
I'm
good.
heading down. I'm heading down to work on my game a little bit in Pinehurst.
Are you
North
going to
Carolina.
Augusta?
No,
Oh,
I'm not.
you're going to
I'm
North
heading down to
Carolina. Okay.
Pinehurst, North Carolina,
Okay.
to work on my game, but also unfortunately I have to go down to a funeral. So funeral's on
that's too
Wednesday.
bad.
So yeah, a long time friend of mine, like almost like a second mother to me. I met her when I was 16 years old in Bermuda, and I've stayed with her and her husband for basically the last 50 years. So
Wow.
yeah, so she passed, and so I'm heading down for the funeral to see the kids and everything. So yeah, but get some practice in. But I brought something up from the archives that I thought I might show. I don't know if
Look
you
at
can see
that.
that or not, but that's my yardage book from the 1984 Masters, and it is signed by Ben Crenshaw, who won that year. And I took it
Wow.
back. I took it back a number of years later, and I pulled it out when I saw Ben, and Ben and I were friends. And I said, "Hey Ben, I got something to show you." And I pulled it out and showed it to him. And I said, "Would you sign it?" And he kindly signed it for me, and we did a picture and everything. So yeah,
Very
pretty
nice.
cool, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And I'd like to pull something out of the archives too, but I
Okay.
didn't get to do it.
Do
But
it
we can
quick.
just talk about it. We
Do it quick.
Ian and I both played Pebble Beach on Sunday in the
Mm.
simulator, and he had to resort to getting in my head on the 18th hole because we were tied, I think, on the 18th. And then he started getting in my head. And
Uh-huh.
we weren't tied. You
well,
were losing.
maybe one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lights out,
Sure.
and he had to resort to going down that. That
All
way.
I said, I don't even think I really said anything major or anything, but it was really funny that Clarkey played from 5,600 yards and I played from almost 6,800
You're
yards.
a pro. You're a pro.
you know,
That's the way it goes.
and
That's
it's
why they
sim-
have
and it's
different
sim-
tees.
It's simulator golf, and everything inside of 12 feet was a gimme for Clarkey, and for me it was 5 feet. So
No, that's
know.
not true whatsoever. We had the same gimme circle. We had the
Mm.
same gimme circle.
I
And
believe
Ian, you
Ian.
gotta work on your putting.
I believe Ian. I believe him. Doigie, you're a man of integrity. If there's
It
anything
was fun.
we
It
know
was
on
a
this
fun
show,
weekend having
We-
Doigie here.
it's
And
that.
we did have a good weekend. It was good to
Yeah.
be up there with Clarkey, and it's nice
And
to be
Lance-
home, but it's
Lance
too
Chomick
cold
came
for
over
me
too.
here. Yeah, and our good friend Lance Chomick,
you
all-time
go.
leading scorer for the Argonauts.
Yes.
Um,
Friend of the show.
he came
friend-
over.
Friend of
yep.
the show.
Yeah,
and
And
it was
Dan
really
and
funny.
Amanda.
Clarkey knew Lance, and I knew Lance, but Clarkey didn't know I knew Lance, and I didn't know that Clarkey knew Lance, and we ran into each other all at the golf course last year. So
Yeah.
it was really cool to connect. Yeah. So
There you go. Well, it's great to
Yeah.
connect with you and get our Masters picks in. Ladies and
Fun.
gentlemen, thank
Yeah.
you so much
Thanks,
to our boy
Doigie. Thanks
Ian
for getting
Doig.
on your phone there.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks to Sid Seixeiro, the legend himself. Watch the Sid Seixeiro Show Monday to Friday from noon to 2 on YouTube and X. Find the podcast on all your favorite podcast apps, just like this show. You can watch us on Rogers TV, YouTube, all your favorite podcast apps. Follow us at Instigating Pod on social media. We'll be back next week with more Instigating with Clarkey and Drury. We'll see you then.